In the Season 3 episode Mermaid Man and Barnacle Boy 4, SpongeBob has accidentally shrunk a large portion of Bikini Bottom's residence using Mermaid Man's utility belt. He is trying to figure out how to reverse the damage. He studies the belt. He sees the M dial. He concludes, correctly, that M stands for mini. He does not know what the W position does. He says so out loud. Patrick says the M stands for wombo. SpongeBob says wombo is not a word, and Patrick says, I wombo, you wombo, he, she, we wombo, womboing. Womboologist, the study of wombo. It is first grade SpongeBob. By the end of the episode, Mermaid Man arrives, assesses the situation in seconds, and turns the M dial to W. Everyone returns to their original size. M was mini, W was the opposite. Wumbo was the answer. The fan consensus on this moment is affectionate and consistent. Patrick got lucky. He guessed at random, happened to name the right function, invented a word around it, and stumbled into the correct answer by pure accident. 25 years of clips, memes, and highlight reels have filed this under classic Patrick stupidity, accidentally right. But watch the speech again and ask one question that nobody seems to ask. How do you accidentally conjugate a verb? I wumbo, you wumbo, he, she, we wumbo. Wumboing. Womboologist. That is not a guess. That is a conjugation table. Subject-verb agreement across first, second, and third person. A present participle. A derived academic title using the suffix that signals professional mastery. Patrick did not say a random word. He built a complete grammatical structure around a concept he claims to have just invented, and he built it immediately, without hesitation, in the correct sequence. On paper, that reads as Patrick producing random noise. In practice, no one accidentally produces subject-verb agreement across 3 grammatical persons, then a gerund form, then an academic specialization. Random noise does not come pre-organized by grammatical case. Patrick's speech was linguistically structured because the thing it described was structurally real, and he already knew it. Here is the architecture of what he actually did. The W on the belt is a visually inverted M. Patrick is holding the same belt SpongeBob is holding. SpongeBob sees M and concludes mini. Patrick sees M, sees W, and immediately reads the relationship between them. One letter is the other flipped. Whatever the M function does, the W function undoes. SpongeBob arrived at mini through letter recognition. Patrick arrived at the reverse function through pattern logic. He read the geometric relationship between the 2 characters on the dial before SpongeBob had finished explaining the problem. That is not luck. That is reading the object correctly while choosing to name the result with a made-up word. And there is a specific reason to use a made-up word. Patrick lives in Bikini Bottom as the rock dweller who does not understand basic employment, cannot follow a written form, and has never held a job for more than 1 episode. If Patrick had said simply that the W reverses the M's function and restores the miniaturized subjects to original scale, the scene would stop. Someone would ask how he knows this. Someone would want an explanation for why the starfish, with no apparent knowledge of anything, has a working understanding of specialized superhero equipment. The made-up word absorbs that question entirely. Nobody in the scene stops to ask why Patrick knows about wombo. They spend the scene arguing about whether wombo is a real word at all. The argument about the word's legitimacy replaces the argument about Patrick's knowledge of the belt's mechanics. He gives the room a different question to argue about, and the room takes it without noticing the substitution. That is exactly the structure he used in the card. He told SpongeBob he mixes up his usual brand of stupidity to keep him on his toes. The function was identical. Deliver something that should raise questions about his awareness, wrap it in a format that makes people focus on the wrapping, and walk away clean. Now look at Patrick's history with Mermaid Man and Barnacle Boy. In the Season 1 episode, Mermaid Man and Barnacle Boy, Patrick and SpongeBob are established as serious fans. They know the show, they know the history, they know the heroes. In the Season 2 episode, Mermaid Man and Barnacle Boy 3, Patrick participates fully in the plan to lure the heroes out of retirement. He is not along for the ride. He understands what they are trying to accomplish and contributes to the strategy. In the Season 4 episode, Mermaid Man and Barnacle Boy 5, when SpongeBob builds a junior superhero team, Patrick joins as the elastic waistband without being briefed on how superheroes function. He steps into the role with immediate fluency, because he already knows what the role requires. He does not need onboarding. He knows the world. A fan who has followed the heroes at that level of depth and investment does not look at their utility belt and draw a blank. Patrick knows the equipment. He has seen it in use. He has watched the show, knows the history, and understood the mechanics of the belt long before SpongeBob accidentally fired it at Squidward. The Wumbo speech is not a lucky guess from a fan who knows nothing. It is a fan demonstrating knowledge he has and choosing to deliver it in a format that makes the knowledge look like nonsense. That is the evidence contradiction the episode buries in plain sight. That is the explanation most fans accept. Patrick stumbled into the right answer. What Patrick does not do when Mermaid Man confirms, it tells a completely different story. Watch his reaction. He does not look surprised. He does not have the expression of someone who just found out they were accidentally right. He does not say anything that registers the confirmation as new information. He is calm. He has the body language of a character who already knew the outcome of the scene and was waiting for it to arrive. When you are right by accident, you notice being right. Patrick does not notice, because it was not an accident. Here is the complete picture. Patrick identifies the solution in the first 30 seconds of the problem. He understands the visual relationship between M and W, recognizes the W as the reverse function, and has the background knowledge to derive this correctly, because he has followed the heroes who carry the equipment. He delivers the correct answer, wrapped in a word he invents on the spot, a word absurd enough to trigger a debate about linguistics, which replaces the debate about why Patrick has this information. The comedy plays out. Mermaid Man arrives, the W dial is turned, the episode resolves. And nobody asks the question Patrick made sure they would not think to ask. The real tell is not what Patrick said in that scene. It is what he chose not to say. He did not explain how he knew. He did not defend the knowledge. He named a concept and built a fake vocabulary around it so efficiently that the room spent the entire scene shooting at the vocabulary instead of asking about the concept. By the time Mermaid Man confirmed it, the window to question the source had closed. The clip became a meme, and Patrick walked away with exactly the same reputation he had when the episode started: the lovable idiot who got lucky. This is the pattern the show keeps producing, and the audience keeps misreading. The Wumbo belt is the cleanest example in the archive because the evidence is contained in a single scene, and the confirmation comes directly from the most authoritative character in the episode. Patrick said W Mermaid Man turned it to W. That is not a coincidence. That is a correct answer delivered by someone who already had it, wrapped in a word so ridiculous that 25 years of viewers filed it under stupidity and never looked at the logic underneath.